This town home spec inspections. Getting ready to do an inspection this morning. 6006 Vrain here in Nevada. Getting started a little bit early here. Just should beat the rain, I guess. So anyway, this is an ASHI inspection. ASHI is the American Society of Home Inspectors. A copy of ASHI Standards of Practice is given with the home inspection contract and is the contract. Basically, the gist of the inspection is make sure you're not buying any major electromechanical structural problems. So the inspection is similar to hiring an electrician, a plumber, a furnace person, and a structural engineer all in one. If we find issues with those 4 different systems or trades, then we have the electrician, the plumber, the window guy, whoever it may be, to come out to further evaluate, to give you a bid on how much it's going to cost to fix. Okay, it's not an issue. Oh well, it may be an issue. It's an issue, but there's different opinions, methods, costs, and materials, and opinions of fixing the same problem. So you need a bids on it. That's contractor stuff. I'm not familiar with the current prices and all the stuff to fix the stuff and the labor rates. I'm here to find if you got an issue, and then you find out how much it costs to fix and repair. I'm going to start on the roof and work my way down. It's also not a cosmetic inspection. I'm not looking for, fences that need to be mended and stuff like that. Okay, looks like you're missing us. Yeah, I think you'll be all right. That's not what we're doing. Basically, it's a home house inspection. Okay, I want to jump on the roof and start working my way down. Okay, these are asphalt fiberglass architectural dimensional shingles, they call them, which are basically good shingle. I think these are recently just put on because they had old T-locks on here, so they had to put them on to actually sell the house. But anyway, they put these guys on, and what you can do is check to see if they have any transferable work warranties and transferable manufacturer warranties. Sometimes you have to do some paperwork to get the warranties to apply, so you might want to check that out. The gutters are newer too. Good old aluminum ones. It looks like they're pretty much last forever. Of course, you still need to clean them out, but so far so good. Okay, just walking up here, making sure we don't have some improperly installed snafus. Looks like they had the hail people out here, I guess. That's what this is here. I sure don't. Yeah. Yeah, sure got me beat. I don't know what he... Oh, yeah, so you do have hail damage up here. So, that's kind of too bad on a new roof, but I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah, hail. So, anyway, these little yellow or chalk marks are the appraiser / not appraiser. Ooh, there's a big one there. What do you call them? So he missed a few here and there. What do you call it? Adjuster, they call them. So you can check out and see what's going on with that. Go from there. Looks like you're liking this. Like this is fairly decent here. Need to get it out of the tree. Some of this is pretty dangerous. Well, it's not pretty dangerous, major dangerous. That exposed wire right there, you have a kid or somebody touch those wires, and that ate up. Actually, looks like it's being melted there. So you might want to get a electrician out here. This looks like it's being melted. And you touch any of this and you are in another world. Just so this hail damage, I don't know if this is all that he found. There's a bunch more that weren't circled, and I don't know why, but I want to just caulk these holes too. I had a roof leak on my property here after the hail, and one of them was just a silly little thing like that. Goes down in there. So we're kind of nitpicking here. I don't like these sticking out here. Should have been cut off, because guess what? It's going to catch debris and pile stuff up, and then you can have ice damming. See how they cut this one? Now some 40 here. So I don't know why they didn't do that section there. Got some raw wood here and some openings over there.
It, yeah.
Is there paneling on top of it?
Just some type of thin wood sheet or something.
Yeah, is there? I don't. Yeah, maybe just here.
Looks like.
No, they just cut that out there. I don't know why. Anyway, I think you can paint and prime and caulk this. I think it's real wood. I think it's cedar actually. Got some more hail damaged windows here. Not the frame. I guess it is the plastic frames and the screens and all that. So use the leak here underneath here. Another thing you need to do to extend the life of your shingles really is you need some soffit vents in here. You need to get some vents going on here to keep your house, your attic cool, so your shingles will last the way they're supposed to. And then underneath here too, you can put some more soffit vents in here. Looks like you got a little bit of a damaged gutter there. I don't, but that's probably part of the issue. So you need a 10% grade 5 feet away from the house, or you need to slope this dirt away from the house. You slope, you compact the dirt, put a vapor barrier over it, and then you put decorative rock over the vapor barrier, and you don't plant anything next to your house, okay? So this retaining wall is actually in the progress or process of failing. Doesn't have any weep holes. It's leaning and cracking and eventually going to fail. Now that could be 30, 40 years from now or 5 years from now. This one here is leaning pretty bad too. As you can see how it's leaning and cracking. And the reason it's doing this is you don't have any weep holes in here. And it's making its own weep holes. And the city can make you fix this, especially when it starts collapsing on the sidewalk, okay? This pole is leaning a little bit more than it should. You can call up XL, I guess, out here, and you can call in this pole here, 579-377. Maybe they know about it, why they have it tagged there. I'd have this dead tree removed, okay? It could cost you a good $1,000 to remove. I'd probably have that thing taken out too. Now this needs to be mitigated here, or you got an open window here, and it's going to rain for the next week here, guys. So they need to put something over this temporarily. And then you need to put real window wall covers over these, not these. These things that just blow off and they break. They got real window wall covers that keep the rain out. Then you have major negative grade. This whole area, they made it appear to be a grade, but it isn't. We dug down, you see the water. So again, you need a 10% grade 5 feet away from the house. Then you need to put an extension on this gutter out here, get this water to go out here, okay? You don't want it draining there, okay? From the hail damage, it might have taken them out. Yeah, these windows are missing here. They need to put covers on these big time. These things are just gonna blow away. This big area right up here. Oh, you can feel the air blowing out there. Yeah, maybe not. I'll cock it up anyway. Both sides of this. Okay, this is kind of a big deal here. First of all, they finished a garage, and you need to check with Arvada that they actually pulled a permit for this, a building permit. If they didn't, they can make you tear this out and or bring it up to the current code, which is almost as bad as having to tear it out, okay? Or they can fine you now, and it's not that I didn't do it. This is yours now when you buy it, okay? It's just like buying stolen, yep. So anyway, you have to redo this driveway. You have to pull all this out, tear it out, and re-slope it away so you get this water away from the house, okay? If it's too high, I've tripped over it. Plus, this is really dangerous stuff to walk on when it's wet and full of water and snow and all that. Nice. So you need to redo this driveway here too. This is gone. There's no fixing this stuff. You need to bust it out and start over. And you're looking a couple of $4 to $6 grand to do this. You're going to have to redesign this water flow from the roof going right over here. Either seal this up, move this over here, but then you're going to have to slope the gutter, right, to get to it. Or put a big long extension of about 40 feet on here. Get it out there. This is all sloped into the finished garage here. See it? So this all needs to be busted up and taken out too. It can cause structural damage to this footer down here, okay? The footer is this concrete foundation here. The good news is I don't see any crack in here very obvious cracking. Single pane garage window should be replaced. It's probably leaking when it rains. You need a new window like you have everywhere else on here. You know, this faucet here is not a frost-free spigot, so that means you have to turn it off every winter or it will freeze. Okay, you probably don't have that in Florida.
A little
but
bit,
anyway,
not much.
yeah, you need the one out front is a frost-free. This isn't. Okay, and you need to put a cover over your dryer vent. I
think that might be what she was talking about.
Bathroom.
No, that's the diaper.
But you need a bunch more called soffit vents. And there's no reason why you can't scrape and paint underneath here too. A little bit of negative grade here too, Mr. Aaron. See what I mean? Rains goes right into the base of Monte. So you need to slope the dirt away from the house. Extend your gutter. Big old rubber extension on here all the way out here. Well, this fence, we don't really do fences that much, but it's leaning pretty bad. That tree isn't helping it either. So, beat up old fence and some shrubbery issues or tree issues too here, I guess. This is old Murray breaker box, which is kind of a Zinsco breaker box, kind of defective boxes. But you do have some major double tapping, actually triple tapping with your what do you call them? Neutrals, your white wires there. And 1, 2 over there, so you got 3 or 4 of them at least. It's because this isn't big enough. They actually could have put them in here, but they didn't. So this is kind of amateur wiring. Whoever did the wiring to the finished basement and the rest of this wiring in the finished garage here. So you might want to have an electrician look at this beyond what I'm doing. Okay, this is a airtight stove, which means you put your logs in here and you adjust the airflow to it and you get really good heat out of here. But this thing here is kind of beat up. You don't have, it's kind of tilted too. I actually did it wrong. You're going to have monoxide leaking out these corners. Did you see that? It's supposed to go the other way. Okay, does that make sense? So the smoke and the CO comes up here, leaks. So this part needs to go inside. It needs to be like this. Okay, over top. This needs to go over top that. You understand?
Yep.
Yeah. I am not real impressed with it. So over the finished garage here, you can see the insulation's falling down. They took the insulation, put it in the roof, which is not really a good idea because you're heating your air. Heating all this area doesn't need to be heated. Plus, the big thing is it can ruin your shingles because the shingles need an area to transfer the heat to, and you can't do it when you got insulation right underneath of them. Okay, so some more falling down insulation up over through this whole area here. That ceiling fan's improperly installed there with open wiring in there, open air splices they call that. Okay, the attic's in here. We can't get in to look in the attic. Okay, to look in the attic, you're gonna have to remove all these panels here, and all this debris is gonna fall down everywhere and all that. We're not gonna. I'm not a contractor. I don't have the sheets and all that to do this without making a mess. Nor the tools to fix stuff, nor the insurance to fix stuff when we break it. Steps are a trip hazard. They're different heights. Gas stove should be vented outside. I don't know what the code here is in Arvada, but in Denver they need to be vented outside. No GFIs in the kitchen. They're relatively easy to put in, but what it tells me is that this stuff wasn't done with a building permit. And then what else did they do if they won't do even this without a permit? What else they did hidden behind the walls? The disposal's plugged into it, but it's not secured. It's not no cover plate. You don't have any shutoffs underneath your pedestal sink here. No, these are vessel sinks. And then you have ribbed plumbing that catches all the debris. And it looks like you're going to overflow here if you really rock and roll. So this may need to be cleaned. You catch all the debris in here, okay? GFIs in the kitchen are the bathroom here. And this pretty much, a lot of this needs to have permits on it too. sucks down at the end here, so it might not be vented right, and that's why it's flowing so slow. And you should really put glass block in here too. This should be tempered glass in the bathroom. And it doesn't look like you have any door stoppers, so that's what happens when you don't have door stoppers. Yeah, you got some old single pane windows here in the bedroom. We caught this window broken here, so you should do a final walkthrough to make sure this stuff is being fixed. Oh, handrails going down here. Still got the old antiquated 2-slot electrical in one spot here in the basement.